You know, I'm not a mechanic, and I'm not a car builder. I'm just an old redneck having a good time banging around on this rusty old iron. So buckle up and hang on. Let's see what's going to happen next around here.
We're gonna shoot over and pick up old Waylon Wire over there. He does some cool stuff.
Hey, welcome to Rat Rodding. My name's Waylon Wire, and don't ever do what we do here on this channel. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Waylon Wire's Old Iron. We worked through some pretty serious issues the last couple of days. Well, at least serious for my limited capabilities, but we got through it. The outcome, I wouldn't say it's questionable, but it's not exactly what I was expecting, but it's okay. Anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, I appreciate everybody showing up for work this morning. Let's go ahead and get busy. Joe, I need you to pick up all these tools, back this truck out and sweep this floor, sweep this bay out. There's some tools there. Matter of fact, just put all the tools away. All over the shop, everything you can find, just go ahead and put it away. Bill, I need you to back this truck up and set those arms, set it on the extensions, and make sure you do a good job, because we don't want this truck to fall off the lift or anything. So make sure they're in the right place on the frame, and pick this up, because we got to start replacing those braces underneath that cab and start grinding out those cab corners and see how much rust we got in there and how big a section we got to remove. Oh, I wish old Fitzy was here, but he ain't here, so you're going to have to go ahead and start in on that. And I need Charlie, I need you to work on this gas door. It goes like that. Be sure you get it right. And then, but don't cut it out. Don't follow this. This is so you can get it centered here. But before you weld this in, I want you to cut it as small as you can, because then that's the less welding you have to do, the less apt you are to warp this panel, and then the less work it is for Harmon to have to shrink the metal or whatever, and the less mud you'll have to use and all that. So be careful about that. Cut this thing down as small as you can when you get ready to weld that in there. Yeah, and then one of you guys need to go out and put the snowblower on the tractor, because that old truck's so big it won't work real well here in the little parking area here in front of the shop. So my intention all along was to go ahead and use the tractor for that little area, but I won't have to be out there for hours on it freezing down on my driveway. Yeah, so why don't you guys go ahead and get started on putting that snowblower on. In the meantime, I've got to work on this latch. My little rod that goes from the button down to that latch came out of its little clip, and the clip's in the bottom of the door somewhere, so I've got to get a magnet and fish that out. I think to get to it, when the glass is down, you can't reach in there, and when it's up, the regulator's in the way. So I think I got to take the glass out again, and I probably have to take that wing window out as well. So this is going to be a pain. This is going to keep me busy for a while. So yeah, you guys go ahead and start on this other stuff, and I'll check in with you later. Okay, we got the snowplow mounted. We got the oil pan heater plugged in there. That always works real good. When I got that pan heater, I didn't realize that pan's aluminum, so I had to epoxy a little metal plate to the bottom of it so I could stick that magnetic pan heater on there, but it works real good. I still got to plug in my little battery tender, but that's all right. This is a nice chore to have out of the way. All right, whoever it was I told to get this truck out of here and sweep this bay, as soon as you get that done, you can go out and bring that Ram truck in here because it's got two burnout headlights on one side. High and low beam are both out. So I'm gonna get pulled over driving it like that, and I don't want to get pulled over. So you need to take care of that, one of you guys.
Attention, all hardworking blue-collar folks. Tired of workwear brands that no longer care about your needs? Look no further than...
It's out now. Listen on Spotify.
Well, here's the next bite out of the elephant. And boy, it's a big one. I got ready to cut this out and start replacing this piece here. And I discovered all this rust up in here. Isn't that just great? So I gotta cut it out. The last guy restored that. Harmon said we're going to do a little better job. So, I guess I'll get to chewing. I'm sure the other side's the same. I didn't notice the cab. I was just looking at these holes down here. But it's all got to be done. All right. Morning, boys and girls. Well, it's the dawn of a new day here at Whalen Wire's Old Iron. You know that axle's broke in a snowplow truck. Well, it's not broke, but it has that Bluetooth U-joint, that non-connecting U-joint. Josh, I'm trying to work here. I'm working here. Okay? Oh, rude. He's just rude. So, man, I just derailed. Leave me alone. That snowplow's got a U-joint missing in the right front axle. It's not connected. It don't four-wheel drive. And I had a guy posted a picture of that on Instagram, and yeah, I said Warren says this is one of those new Bluetooth U-joints, and the guy commented. He said, "Hey, I got one. I just happen to have the whole front axle, everything." And I didn't recognize the name or the avatar right away because there's so many of them, you know. And well, turns out he's my neighbor. Lives about 3 miles from here. So he says the price is right, and let's go get it. What do you say?
channel quite a bit and watch.
Thank you.
What's he up to today?
Thank you. I need the money.
I know, right?
Speaking of money, let's take care of business.
How's $100 sound?
That sounds wonderful. Sounds just wonderful.
I can tell you it's a 76 front end.
That'll work. Is that a Dana 44?
That's what I was told to back when I had to buy parts for it.
That's what I've been hearing. Whoa! He got up on his tippy toes. You know, sometimes the 3/4 4x4 Chevy square body gods just smile upon you. That's a pretty good deal. I'm going to set that down on the floor and reattach it. I need a little bit more chain so I can have this wheel hanging off on this side a little bit, and I'm going to pick it up to a comfortable height to work on, and then I'm going to rip into that thing like a monkey on a cupcake. Okay, I can get to the caliper pretty good on that. I think that might work. You know, sometimes I wish I had enough sense to be scared, but I don't. You know, fools rush in where angels fear to tread, and a man is made by patience and the odds against him. Now, here we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna get this thing out of here and go bring old Krusty in and repeat the process. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Tired. I've been going all day long, man. I got too many things going on. I got to go into town tomorrow and got to work on this red truck, and I got Russ to take care of, and I got to fix that snowplow truck. And welcome to my life. Okay, let's get out of here. Well, let's go out here and see if old Krusty will fire up. I don't have the headlights working on that thing yet. Those plow lights work, but the switch is out under the dash or under the hood, excuse me. And I turned them off, but pop the hood on it and get those lights going, and then we'll see if it's gonna fire up. All right, let's see if we got lights. No. We don't. Does the key have to be on? Oh no, I think I left the key on. Oh no. Did I run the battery down? Probably. Deader than the door nail. Doggone it in darn hell. I left the switch on. Okay. We'll get the jump box. I'll be back. Alright, let's see if there's enough juice in that jump box to start this thing. Oh, it wants to. It's just, starter's pulling so much juice. Let's see if that choke's working. I hooked up that electric choke, but I didn't adjust it. I don't think it is. I think it needs some adjusting. Hey, we got one clearance light. That's good. And by the way, all the cables, everything I need to hook up the emergency brakes on this thing is out there on that donor truck. So that's something that'll be coming up. All right, let's pick that blade up a little bit. Ooh, that takes some juice, don't it? We don't have enough battery to pick it up. Okay. All right. We gotta charge up the battery. I'll get back with you. All right, we got enough juice to get her up off the ground, and there was a YouTuber, a subscriber, well, I hope he's a subscriber, commented and said 3 things you need on a plow truck. He said you need good wipers and backup lights, some real good backup lights, and one other thing, and I'll have to go back and look at the comment. I don't remember what the other thing was right now, but yeah, anyway, we don't have any of that right now, but I think there's wipers on that donor truck, so we'll get there. And this thing runs good. It's such a good engine. I sure wasn't expecting that. Boy, I'm gonna have to move some things, I think. I don't know, I gotta clear those sawhorses. This thing's so long, I'm gonna have to move that table, I think, too. Get the door shut. All right, here we go. Get the charger on this thing while it's sitting here. All right, let's change it. That's on this thing. I guess y'all don't need to see me do this twice, so maybe I'll put camera on when I start putting it back together or something. Well, I should have had the camera running because, boy, I struggled on this one. This one come apart different than the other one. Way different and way harder. You know, I don't have a retainer socket to reach down in there and catch those retainer rings and turn them out of there. All I can do is just take a little punch and tap on them, tap on the knots just a wee bit at a time, and it takes forever to turn them out. So I don't know. To go back in, I may build a socket. I'm not sure. But that thing is so chewed up on the back side, I can hear. It's so chewed up and beat up that it won't come through the hole. So I'm going to have to get back in there. I don't know that I can get to it with a grinder. Maybe. I can get to it with a burr. So one or the other. But I got to shave that down a little bit so it'll come out of there. Ain't that a revolting development?
Well, you be careful with that one. You ain't got a shield on, guy.
Yeah.
I'm that way, except the only one I'll use on is a thick one.
Yeah.
Oh, Jaime come out one time to the shop at my area, and he said, Harm, he just got a new air tool. And he wanted me to cut the guard off for him, because it was built in. And I said, Jaime, look up there in the ceiling. And there was one of these thin ones like that that blew up, and it stuck right in the ceiling out the body shop. He said, never mind, I'll leave mine on.
Yeah. Well, here's another little thing we got going on. The other day when this thing did its little deal, I shoved it down into four-wheel drive. It was in 2 high, and I shoved it into 4 high, and that's when all the stuff started going cattywampus in here. The lack of that U-joint, that thing crawling around on itself, and it busted the U-joint out of this thing. You know, my life just perpetuates itself. I tear something up and I fix that, and then I tear something else up and I fix that, and then I tear something else up and fix that, and I just can't get ahead. All I do is just fix my own screw-ups. Okay, here we are. I have never owned an old square body 4x4. Never got into one of these. Never worked on the front hubs. Never had one apart. Don't know anything about it. Only 4x4 I've owned are these, you know, newer rigs like my 02 Chevy, that work truck. It's just a push button on the dash, and that 2013 Ram. But as far as these old square bodies, no, never had a 4x4 and never done anything to them. So had to do an axle swap on this thing. And in the process of taking that old hub apart and then taking the donor hub apart, I really started to like the Warn hub. It is just far superior to what this thing had on it. So I decided to swap it out, and in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to do the other side. I can't do it today. Harmon's riding me about getting the rust cut out of this truck. So I just, you know, after school's out today, I got to put on my play clothes and I got to work on that rust. I can't work on this thing anymore today. But maybe next Sunday I can swap out the other side. In the meantime, we're just going to pretend that I knew all along that I was going to have 8 lugs in the front and 6 in the rear. Warren says it's a mullet, you know, it's all business in the front and party in the back. So that's where we're at right now. And never mind the missing lug nuts. That's no big deal. It's got 4 on there. We're good. No, it's got 4, but it'll be all right for now. Anyway, that was the tire that was on there on the donor. So I had to go out back and dig up a tire. Got that stylish fluorescent green paint on it. Like that a lot. But it is 31-inch diameter, which is the same as diameter as the one that came off of there. So that should be okay as far as my front diff goes and all that. But anyway, that's what we got. We're going to have a mullet. We're going to have 8 lugs in the front and 6 in the rear. Yeah. Oh, man, sometimes I'm such an arky. And that's all right. You know, y'all don't expect much from me, and so far you ain't been disappointed. All right, I'm going to see if this thing will crawl out of here under its own power. See if the battery got charged up. Overnight, I think it probably did. Let's see what happens. I'm exhibiting a lot of confidence here. I closed the hood and opened the door. We'll see. Boys and girls, that's going to do it for this one. I don't know what's coming up next. I got to get some rust cut out of this truck, and I got to get the cab corners cut out of that red truck. I got to get wipers on the snowplow. That's not really video worthy stuff, but I'm hoping at some point to grab a couple days and get the old Dirty Dozen in here and just get in there and about neck deep in it and just get my hands dirty and you know, lay hands on it and touch it and do things. And I just need to get my mojo back, you know, and that'll do it. I like to create things with these 2 old rusty old hands of mine. So if I can get that Dirty Dozen in here just for a day, man, that'd just do my soul good. So we'll see what we can do about that. In the meantime, I sure do appreciate you. We'll see you next time right here on Waylon Wire's Old Iron.